Hey everybody, Mark B. Dove with Gardening Gone Wild. Welcome back to the channel. Hey listen, we are headed to the garden right now because today I'm going to attempt to build some grow boxes out of wood. And so I wanted to kind of give you a visual of how I do it. Now we all know that there's a plethora of people out there that build grow boxes, right? And do different types of things. This is my way. This is my method. I did show you my grow boxes, as I call them. That is that they are actually grow boxes made out of cinder block that I got for free on KSL Classifieds here in Utah. Facebook Marketplace has kind of come along just the same and tried to mimic what KSL Classifieds has done, but hey, just because you don't have it in your area with KSL Classifieds, the Facebook Marketplace provides a way for you to be able to find good deals on lots of good treasures. Because you remember the saying goes, one man's junk is another man's treasure. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm going to walk back to the shop. I'm going to pick up my chop saw, my miter saw, and a couple other tools, and then we're going to head back to the garden. So as you can see right here, I've got my miter saw. Okay, I've got my tape measure, a couple other tools here on the wagon, and so I've got my screws, I've got my gloves, drills, and then of course we're going to dive into this most awesome garden box soil and fill those boxes with that soil. So let's get going. Now I've already kind of put together a couple of the sides for the boxes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut the ends today. We're going to build these two boxes. Then I've got another box sides that I've already got put together, and I'm going to put those together. So we're actually going to build 3 boxes today, and then we're going to fill them with soil, and then we'll talk a little bit about the soil that I put into them, along with some other amendments. Without further ado, let's get building. Where I need it to be. Typically, I just trust the saw blade to be where I want it. Now when you're cutting, obviously there's some pointers here that you want to be very careful. You never want to cross and hold your hand like this while you're cutting down. Very dangerous. It's always good to keep clear. If you need to hold this side, change hands and bring your other hand down. That way you're not crossing there and you have that chance of that guard coming up and then you're cutting yourself right there. Always make sure that you're totally clear of the saw blade. So we're going to go along here. We're going to cut the outside of the line because this gives me an 1/8 inch kerf cut, they call it. That means it's an yeah, it's easy for you to say. It's an 1/8 inch cut from the blade. That's how wide the blade is when you cut that piece of wood. So as you come down, you want to get the saw going. And hold that down with your hand. There's my cut right there with that first board. We'll set that over here. And then what I would like to do is turn this around. I've got my mark right there. No pun intended. Gardening Gone Wild with Mark B. Dove. All right, we're going to take this and bring this along here. We're going to hold that down and got to adjust it just a tad so that I make sure I have the right length on both boards so that my box isn't skiwampus. Alrighty. Now I'm doing a kind of a little awkwardness here on my wagon, but hey, it's what I've got to work with. Again, I've got plenty of distance between my saw blade and my hand here to hold this down. Always paying attention to what you're doing with the saw because Oh, heaven forbid there could be a catastrophe. There's my cutoff piece right there. I've got my safety glass so that it helps to cover my eyes completely, because you only got one set of eyes, guys. Okay, now I've got both my boards. Let's bring our other board on here. Let's get our measuring tape and our pencil. Go from this end, go down to 4 feet, because that's the width I want my boxes, my grow boxes to be. Go down here, and I've only got enough to cut one board on this particular piece of lumber here, okay? Take your nice little, make sure you get that on there like that. Bring your board in to match your line right there with your sock blade. And I'm gonna cut it this way this time, because I don't want this board right here to plop down and then it messes up with the angle on my, they call that the butt end right there. So here we go. Just like that. We'll use this board for something else. Here we go. Mark at 4 feet. A friend taught me this, that if I don't use a square to draw a line, what he taught me is to throw a line off to the either side of the board that I'm cutting off. I want the full 4 feet on this one. This one's going to be a little short for 4 feet, but this is kind of my fall off piece over here on this left side. We're going to match it up to that line right there. You see the line just right there, and then I'm going to hold on to it over here, push down and operate the saw with my left hand. Got my 4 boards now for my 2 end pieces on one box. So let's see what we can do to get things going on that one. I've got end pieces for both ends of my first box here that I'm building. Got those there. I'm going to put those right there. I'll take these and lift this one up. This is my first side. Now notice that I've got 2 boards connected together because I want some depth with my soil. I've got 2 2x8s, and if you guys know and remember that when you go to the lumber store, they're not actually a true 2x8, correct? The way the lumber industry has gotten, where they cut it down. They're not a true 2x8, 2 inches thick, 8 inches wide. Usually it's about 7 5/8 wide and about 1 5/8 inches thick. So that's what you get with your lumber. You'll notice right here I've got a couple of little cleats. You can see this one right here and possibly that one right there. Got those to hold these 2x8s together. And I did that to kind of pre-build them so that when I put them together, they were ready to go, and all I had to do was put on my end pieces. So what I want to do next is I want to take and pre-drill some holes right here where my end pieces are going to go, so they don't crack the wood. A lot of times if you're just taking a screw and you're putting that into the wood, a lot of times you're so close to the end there that it's going to crack it, and then it's going to make it so that it doesn't bind and come together like we like to. So I'm going to put 4 screws in to each end piece. Actually, I'm going to do drill a hole there, drill a hole here, and drill a hole here, and drill a hole here. Then I'm going to go on my other board and drill 4 more holes. So we've got that like that. Now I like using these star headed screws, if you can see that. It's a star headed screw in there. It's got the star headed bit that fits in there. These seem to work a lot better than just your standard Phillips heads, because a lot of times when you're trying to screw into wood and other harder objects, materials, you start to strip out that Phillips head and it doesn't give for a very good finish. So I'm going to take and put this right here into my hole. This right here. Take my drill. Let's see if we can't make this happen. Make sure everything's lined up where it needs to be. This is a impact drill because once it hits kind of a dead end, it continues to kind of vibrate and impact. Just like that right there. Let's get some other screws. We're going to finish up on this board right here. Unlike your Phillips head screw bit and your screw on your drill, a lot of times it just strips out, makes it hard to be able to get that thing beautiful, just like that. Now, I'm going to take the other board and I'm going to put this right on top of it. All right, here we go. It's fun trying to film by yourself. I don't know if some of you have done that before. Sometimes lately I've been able to get my better half to help me film, and so that's always been exciting. So I'm going to start right here and see if I can't get that to suck just like that. I had a little bit of a gap right there, and so I wanted to make sure I could suck that in so I didn't have a gap there. I'm going to bring this box side up. We're going to put it right there. Now notice it's dropped a little bit. I can actually just raise that up, kick that in, and bring that together just like that. And then I'll need to raise that back end up a little bit to flush it down here on this side. But remember, what we're wanting to do with this is get our drill with our drill bit on it. And we're wanting to go here and make 4 holes on the first board, and then 4 holes on the second board. Beautiful. Lift this baby up right here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a toy. How's that? Sometimes the grandkids' toys come in handy when you're trying to do stuff. That looks great right there, okay? Let's go ahead and come through here. Do that top one right here. I want to do that one first, okay? You hear that, how it kind of hammers down through there and kind of vibrates? Yeah, I love it. All right, let's do the bottom one on that board. Cheaper by the pound when you buy screws and nails, so if you think you've got other projects coming along, buy it in bulk. All right. All right, here we go. 2 more on this end. And then we'll make our way on the opposite end. Perfect, right there. What do you think so far, guys? Pretty nice. You're gonna put that end on down there, down here. It's gonna be a nice setup for us right here. There we go. Let's take and get our drill bit and our screws. We'll bring them down here, and we'll get ready to go. Kind of clean this off just a tad. You know, you don't have to, but hey. Drill, like right here. Boom. 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 Using the right tools on any project really makes the project go a lot smoother. So I recommend you always try to use the correct tools. Most importantly though, it's your safety. If you're using the right tools and not trying to jerry-rig something. So, what do you think, guys? Wow, there's our first box right there. That didn't take too long, did it? Now, of course, I did do a little pre-drilling and pre-assembly with my sidewalls. That's pert near 16 inches deep. You know, most plants only need about 6 to 8 inches for their root structure to grow and mature to help support the plant, okay? And so there you go. There's your nice 4x8 box. All right, guys. Hey, welcome back. Had to take a break there. It started raining and seems like it's still kind of wanting to come down on us. It's forecasted to rain today and tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, but hey, we love it. That's what we need in the mountains. Need all that snow. So I've got all 3 boxes built. I plan on building probably 4 more to replace those boxes right there. I think in my last video on my garden tour I said they weren't really functional for what I want to do now. I'm going to take those out. I'll be able to repurpose the soil and put it in some of these boxes here. But the soil that I'm going to put in those is that awesome garden box soil that I got free 99. All right, so there's the boxes. I'm going to start filling them up. I'll show you kind of what I do with those, and then we'll talk a little more. Hey guys, hey, I'm stooping down a little bit. It's been raining here. Had to stop for a bit, but now I'm ready to go. It's nice. The sun's coming out. Kind of brought the mosquitoes out for some reason. But nonetheless, guess what? We're going to start filling the boxes with soil. So let's get her done. Here we go. So there's one. Any guesses on how many wheelbarrows it's going to take? All right, there we go. That's a nice little shot for you guys. Remember, we've got 6 wheelbarrowfuls in here. Again, it does settle. Even if I were to just take and go like this with the shovel and push that down, that's gonna settle that soil a bit. Okay, you hear some of the rocks in there that my friend's buddy was talking about, that he couldn't sell the soil because he got rocks in there. Hey, for free, I don't mind a few rocks. You know, that adds to the aeration. Little air pockets down under there where the roots are growing for the plants to be able to breathe their roots. You get compacted soil like our clay soil we have here in Utah. Oh my. The roots suffer, the plants suffer, and then in turn, we suffer as gardeners because it's not very fun. I'm just about done with this video shoot. Once I get all this, I got 1 more box to fill, or 2 more boxes to fill. I'm actually going to do that at a different time. We'll come back, but you get the gist of everything I've done here today. Whoo, baby. Pretty good stuff, though, if you ask me. I'm Mark B. Dub, out of breath, gardening gone wild.
Where do we go from here when everything seems broken? Where do we go from here? What do we need to say to take back harsh words spoken? What do we need to say? It seems we've somehow lost our way, somewhere since yesterday. So where do we go, and what do we say? What do we have to do to survive this stormy weather? What do we have to do? Who do we have to be to always stand together? Who do we need to be? And now it feels so long ago, when we laughed and dreamed together. So what do we do, and who should we be? I thought we'd always find a way to keep our dreams alive, and celebrate our tapestry that's woven from each life. But now it seems we're torn apart, not knowing where to go. We've got to find our way back home and share the love we know. Where do we go from here, when our whole world seems shattered? Where do we go from here? What do we have to say to change the things that matter? What do we have to say? There's just got to be a way to mend the hearts now broken. So where do we go, and what do we say? I thought we'd always find a way to keep our dreams alive, and celebrate our tapestry that's woven from each life. But now it seems we've grown apart, not knowing where to go.